to present some models about the cash shelter problems in order to have idea what is a better assumption to take into account here. In this work, we call what is the cash shelters problem in a classic way. And in this case, the evacuation graph describes a territory which is divided into zones, and each zone is associated to a vertex. We have an edge between two vertices if it is possible to go from vertex I to j. And the value corresponds to the distance between the two vertices. We present here something which is near your example, Noria, in a valley in in Spain. In the central pass, we have the valley, and from this valley, we can go with prices to other places. So we have a particular graph here. In this case, the classical model is to find a location for K shelters. K is given in the problem, and we want to put the shelter on vertices, at most one per zone. In this case, when we have a solution, to compute the value of a solution, we have to compute the value for each vertex. The value of each vertex is the distance to go to the nearest shelter. So if a shelter is located in zone, the population, the value for the vertex is 0, and otherwise the value is the distance to the nearest shelter. So the value of a solution is the maximum vertex value. I give an example in the graph for the vertex 12, and the solution given by shelter on vertices 2 and 6. The vertex 12, the nearest shelter is shelter 6, and the distance is 8 plus 1 plus this is 19. So, and we want to find a solution with the minimum distance. When we take into account some fire ignition in the problem, this model is no more available, since with this solution, for example, if we have a fire in vertex 7, some vertices cannot access to a shelter. So we have to modelize in this graph the fact that some fire can occur, and we want to save all the people in this case. So we introduce in this model the notion of scenario, and the scenario is given by a subset of vertices in fire. And given a solution which is a location of K shelters, and considering a given scenario, we have to evaluate this solution on a specific scenario. And if we consider the scenario with only one vertex V, we have to update all the evacuation paths. And we assume that if fire starts in the vertex V, and if we haven't shelter in this vertex, then in first time people run away in any direction, and when a neighbor J is reached, people evacuate to the shortest shelter. So the valuation of vertex for the solution and the scenario is updated, and we associate to each scenario a radius, which is the worst value of all vertices. I explained, sorry. What's the message? In the given example, if we have a solution if we have shelter on vertices 2 and 8, and if we have a fire in vertex 13. If you want to compute the value for the vertex 1, the nearest shelter is no more the shelter 2, since we can go to the fire in 13, and we have to change. The nearest shelter becomes the shelter 8. So the value for vertex 1 is 4 plus 4 is 8. And to compute the value for the vertex 13, we have to take into account the 3 neighbors of this vertex. If people run away in vertex in neighbor 1, the solution is 1 plus 8, so 9. If people run away in vertex 6, the solution is 3 plus 9, since they go to the shelter 2. It is a shelter 8. And if people run away to the vertex 2, the distance is 2 only. But as we take into account the worst case, the value for this vertex 13 is 12. We make the same computation for each vertex, and we change the worst case for the scenario associated to the vertex 13 in fire. In this case, the value of a solution is the maximum radius on all scenarios we take into account. For this problem, we obtain some results given some novel models based on integer linear programming. With these models, we can solve the problem in optimality for small size instances because the problem is difficult. And we can define some variants interesting to study and maybe easier to solve. I explain for the variants. If we consider the specific case, we have a specific case in which the evacuation graph is called a caterpillar graph. And we have a distinction between vertices. We have vertices on the central path on which shelter can be located, and vertices on leaves on which fire can occur. We assume that we cannot put a shelter on the leaves. In this case, the problem becomes easy. Why it's easy? Because the robust problem is the same as the determinist problem in your case. And in general, we would like to know what are the variants we have to take into account. Do we have to distinguish vertices for shelters from vertices in fire? Or is it possible to have in the same vertex a fire and a shelter? What does it mean? We can take into account different strategies for evacuation. If we have a fire in zone V, do we have to evacuate only people in zone V, or do we have to evacuate all the people on the other zones? And we have to take into account also different classes of graphs. For example, caterpillar UKs, but tree or grid or planar graph, we don't know. Each time we choose strategy for evacuation, a tip-up graph, and if we distinguish vertices for shelters from vertices in fire, we have a new problem, and which is more or less difficult to solve. For example, in your case, if we add some vertices between, if we can go from vertex 10 to 11.
It's hard to see, actually, because it's very dark.
Sorry, if we can go from 14 to 15, and we can go to 13 to 14, for example, we had some ways, some paths possible to go. Your problem is much more difficult to solve. So we would like to know if we think we have to distinguish vertices for shelter and fire, if you think, and if we have to evacuate all people or only people on the fire. To know what is the best problem to study for you. We don't know.
Yeah, not sure by now either, but we can discuss it, yeah. So fire can be in shelters, you know, one of the things, right? In the same vertex.
Yes. What does it mean if we take in this zone, we can have a fire that starts, and we can have also, is it possible to have a starting fire and a shelter in the same place?
I guess so. It just depends what's the vertex. Is it a large? How large is the vertex?
Yes.
That could be something to consider. But I think it can happen in the same place unless there is other stoppers or other measures such as prevention infrastructure, so fire cannot happen in that vertex or something like that. It depends on how good is being the work previous to defining that as a shelter.
Yeah. And if we assume that if we have a shelter on a vertex, every people on this vertex are safe. Is it okay? Or if we have a fire also?
If we have a fire in that vertex, probably no one is safe. Yeah, that may be assumptions that we need to go through and define.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if the graph actually is a directed graph, somehow to represent the fact that typically you have a wind that goes in some direction. So possibly the spread of the fire is much more in some direction and not in both directions. So which can be represented by a directed graph. Your results, how do you change, or did you think about that?
We don't know, because in fact this graph is the evacuation graph for people. It's not the graph for how the fire is spreading. We only take into account a fire starts in some vertices, but we don't look after the first time.
But in a sense, let's say when you have the fire that starts, you won't evacuate, but in the same time, whenever you have fire that starts, potentially there is the fire is connecting on potentially nodes which are somehow connected. You said that you were considering the worst case, but in a sense, sometimes possibly among the possible direction of escape, there are some which are much better than others. Because of this. So you have costs which can be considered, of course, with respect to that by putting rates. But that's why I was asking about directed apps.
In fact, we study another version of this problem in which we want to minimize the not the worst case, but the expected function, yes. Okay. In which we can take into account some probabilities of, it's much more difficult.
The term is quite static. Yeah. We consider fire maybe on several vertices, connected vertices, but it's not a dynamic point of view. For this case, we discussed 4 potential scenarios that are likely to happen in there, and that depends on wind conditions, it depends on fuel availability from one side of the park, depends on the infrastructure, prevention infrastructure that has been done in some areas. And then among all the cases, we identify these worst case. That was a given direction, a given wind speed, and I don't know, and given fire spread. But yeah, this was just one worst case. Out of 4 ways the fire can enter the valley, from many more that can potentially enter there.
A scenario is not only one vertex, but several vertices in the worst case. And concerning the evacuation strategy, is it interesting to study the fact that we evacuate only persons, people that are on a fire zone?
Well, I guess that's linked with the fire spread.
Okay.
The spread rates, the firefighting capacity, so if they will have, the firefighters will actually be able to protect one area but not another area, so we can establish priorities and evacuations in there as well. But yeah, I don't think this goes from a static only plan.